I can explain what's happening with bulk water prices. It's more difficult to explain the community response. So the government's invested $7 billion in the South East Queensland water grid. What they did 2 years ago to fund that is announce a 10-year price path for bulk water prices. Now, what that price path involves is a 5-year period that is fixed and indicative prices beyond that. But it takes what were different prices for each council area prior to the government acquiring bulk water assets off the council and moves on a path to standardise them across the region. In the course of doing so, it also pays for the cost of that investment in the grid, and it involves a significant increase in bulk prices. So in some councils they are doubling or perhaps more. So bulk water prices will increase significantly over a 10-year period. We're in the 3rd year of that bulk water price now. There was some media and reaction to that a couple of weeks ago, and I think you'll see again another round of that when the budget's brought down and the retail distribution entities make their first announcements of what prices are. So bulk water prices are increasing. The destination price in real terms is $2,755 a megalitre. Now if you compare that to, and that's for the bulk water only, it doesn't include distribution and retail infrastructure. If you compare that to what we found in that report, stormwater has costs that may vary in the best case at about $1,000 a megalitre and in a range up to about $5,000 a megalitre. So some of those schemes just on that basis you wouldn't proceed with, but certainly as we move towards that destination price there are schemes that will become increasingly efficient or attractive compared to bulk water pricing. Yeah, there's surprisingly little work that's been done on some of the local supplies previously, and so the first project that really started looking at that was Payne Road, where there was a community with rainwater tanks and a communal rainwater tank that some studies have now been done over a series of years actually looking at the energy intensity or the energy efficiency of that system. Some of the findings they got out of that were surprising and in a lot of cases made sense, but it's providing a basis for a lot more research. So what they found, for example, is the house that had the most expensive pump, which everyone expected to be highly efficient, was actually pressurising water up to firefighting flows level and as a result was highly inefficient, but simply adjusting how it was operated brought that down. What's happening through the Alliance is they've set up a rig, I think out at Indooroopilly, with rainwater tanks in this case, and they're using a series of different pumps, inserting them into the rig and running the system at different cycles to look at what the energy intensity is, and then looking at what the impact of things like header tanks are, or putting other systems in place that minimise the number of stop-starts. So we're certainly putting a fair bit of work into the rainwater tanks and how we optimise that. We want to get a couple of part of the reason for getting the demonstration projects up for stormwater is actually get some of these systems built and then being able to do similar sort of monitoring on that.
So thank you very much to Mary and Dan for those presentations tonight. Mary definitely introduced to us the importance of having the safe, secure and water supply for South East Queensland and outlined those institutional arrangements to give us some context on who's who, where is it going to go, what's it going to, how are we going to get our water in the future, and all those important players and some of the opportunities and challenges along the line there. And from Daniel we heard how stormwater harvesting is very site specific. There's a lot of boutique sort of programs going on around the place, but he put the challenge out there to us as the stormwater industry to actually move it from those boutique schemes to bulk water type schemes. So I think that's something for us to explore, and we'd definitely be happy as the Stormwater Industry Association to work with you on exploring that as well, definitely. So, just say thank you for coming along this evening. We do have